Andreas Georgia here for MMA Plus, and I'm now joined by one of the biggest legends
What's his name?
to ever compete in the world of kickboxing, Andy Souwer. Absolutely fantastic to talk to you here. Thanks for taking the time out.
You're welcome. It's always a pleasure to speak with the foreign people who just came all the way to interview me. Yeah,
you're a special guy, you know.
That's I am who I am. That's it. I'm just a person and a human.
Well, let's talk about it this week, in fact, coming. Jose Aldo, Conor McGregor, the biggest fight in UFC history, no doubt. You're a training partner of Jose. Jose brought you into Nova União. First, before we kind of talk about the fight, I got to ask you, a Dutchman, a Brazilian, how did this partnership start?
It's a long story, but try to keep it in short. It was Pedro Rizzo in the time.
Yeah.
He was training with Pedro Rizzo, and they call it Muay Thai.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Muay Thai what they do, because it's kind of Dutch kickboxing.
Mm-hmm.
They love using hands and kicks, but
Yeah.
they call it Muay Thai. And Pedro Rizzo was a stand-up trainer, striking trainer, and he had contact with Peter. Pedro went a lot of times to Amsterdam to train with Peter, and probably also other places. But and then he was successful in WEC, and he wanted to compete better in striking, and that's how it came. And he came to Holland with Pedro, and we first met, and they were a little bit confused because they didn't knew who to choose the guy, me or Albert Kraus, because we were both K1 Max champions. Pedro said now, and Peter also said now, it's better to have the full arsenal of kickboxing. It's better to go to Andy, and Peter and I, we train at the same boxing gym, and so that's how it went. Yeah.
So it's a very long-standing friendship,
Yeah, it's already for 7-8 years, something around that. Yeah, probably. It was his first MMA fight in UFC.
In UFC, he fought
That was
Hominick. Yeah.
That was in
2009.
9? Oh, 6 years.
Well,
I'm talking about 7-8 years.
He
But
was on the GSP Jake Shields card.
yeah,
so,
true. Yeah. So wow, your memory is didn't.
I know, I'm like a Wikipedia.
No, yeah. Okay, good.
So
good for you.
Let's talk about what happened in the summer. It was scheduled, Conor McGregor, Jose Aldo, the biggest fight of all time. The UFC pumping so much money into it. World tours, press conferences everywhere.
Yeah.
And Jose, he got injured, the rib injury, broken rib. Being so close to him at that time, how gutting was the feeling, within the camp, within Nova União, and for Jose, because I know how much it meant to Jose as well.
Yeah. It went really fast for me, because the day that it happened, I just arrived in the early morning, and we had to train at we trained at 10 o'clock sparring, and I arrived at around 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and I just came out of the airplane, and I just came into the gym and let's do some sparrings, because I just wanted to train, and I wanted to meet him also. And then suddenly I sparred him, because we did the sparring, and every minute he gets a new opponent. How do you call it? The shark something? Tang. Yeah. And so I just sparred 2 minutes, and the guy after me, he made a back kick or a back flip. How do you call it?
Spinning back kick.
Spinning back kick, and he injured him on his rib, and everybody thought, he can go on, and he did. And then after 2 minutes, he said, I can't hold it anymore. And since then it was really weird, because everybody was quiet. Also in training, the coaches, Andre Pananeras, also kept quiet, and were telling me, relax, everything's gonna work out, everything's gonna be fine. But on the end, it wasn't, and he had to pull back, unfortunately. But then again, we still have we had to wait for a long period, but for now it's almost for 5 days to go.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Yeah. One thing I want to ask is, at that time, we really did see Conor getting into Jose's head. Well, so it seemed, on the cameras anyway. Do you feel that the extended period between the original fight and now this December has done Jose a world of good because, you know, in interviews and everything now, he seems so calm, so relaxed, you know.
You asked me, and you noticed it, so I cannot say anything about it because I agree with the opinion that you have, and what you saw, I saw also. It was a lot of fun we had, but the training was hard, but fun, and I never saw him like this before, because I always saw him a little bit. How do you call it? It's more like not almost stubborn, you know. He was always I don't want to. I was always a little bit grumpy and blah blah blah. And but this time I don't know what happened, but he has a big smile.
There's a fire underneath.
Yeah, and after 2 rounds, before almost every fight, I helped him in his preparation, and almost every fight, every preparation that I help him, he is always in the first 2 rounds. He's okay, he's good. And it slows down.
Yeah.
And we also could see that in his fights. To be honest, hopefully he won't see it, but I don't worry, I don't care. But for now, 6 rounds, 6 minutes. He's fucking the guys up.
It's a different Jose Aldo
for sure, 100%. Yeah.
The fight. I know. We talk about how good Jose is, undefeated for so long, and really he is. I know, as much as people want to say because of the injury and, you know, for the UFC they lost money because of that, he is still one of the pound-for-pound best fighters on the planet. But Conor McGregor, is the hype real? Because, you know, we've seen glimpses that his striking ability is world elite level. How would you compare it to Jose's?
Completely different, also because of the standings. The height will be will make a lot of trouble for both. Eventually, you can say, the guy who has a taller reach or a bigger reach is an advantage. But from what I saw, I saw a lot of things. I helped him with a lot of things, and if that's going to happen, he will gonna sleep for sure.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you next. You know, we've seen in the past few Jose fights, especially against Chad Mendes, a very different Jose. Like, as you said, he looked stubborn. You know, he was going the distance in fights, especially in that Chad. And Chad really tested him in that rematch. What's the difference now? You know, he's talking about that fire. He's aggressive. He wants to get a knockout. Is it kind of an old Jose Aldo like we used to see, the guy that was people feared because of those vicious leg kicks?
First of all, I have to say that it's something about champions. You know, there's always, when they get champion, they're gonna change. They're gonna change. They don't want to lose. They get more experience. They're gonna think about what they reached. They reach the highest thing, and what they have to do, they have to volhouden. What?
Evolve.
No, they have to keep the belt. Hold on the belt, and that's a different world, because we love to climb on the ladder, but when we are on top of the ladder, it's pretty damn different, you know. So and that you can see also in his fights, in Jose's fights, that he is just doing the things that he has to do just to keep the belt. You know, it's not that explosive anymore. He's still explosive, but he's not that aggressive anymore, and not so free in mind. From what I saw, and but this time it looks like he let Conor keep the attention, keep controlling the interviews, the people. So he caught up in a kind of underdog position because of McGregor, and I think he likes it, you know. And in the beginning, at 12 July this year, it was the Brazilian heart spoke. Probably, you know, he was really emotional, and you could see that also. But for this time, I think he loves to be in a position now that McGregor has to wait, and is almost gonna overrule his emotional mind things, you know. But still, I think McGregor is ready for it. But I think that this situation can bring the best fight ever. in this weight class, and also between them, I think that for now it's the best time.
Yeah.
They are both 100% now. Hopefully McGregor is. I know that Jose is. So yeah, it's the best fight for sure for the year. It will be, unless we're still talking about fighting.
Yeah.
So there's always a chance that somebody KO'd somebody in the first round, in the first seconds. So we'll see. If it's going to take longer than 2 rounds, it will be 2 beautiful rounds for sure.
Regardless of win or lose, do you think this is the last time we see Jose Aldo in the octagon?
To be honest, yeah, I think. Yeah, I think so.
He's going to if he wins, step away on top. And I mean, I think if we look at everything that happened with Dana in the UFC and the way they kind of spoke about Aldo, he seemed like a man scorned and a man very hurt because he put his life for that organization.
Yeah, true. So I think he's done with it and ready. And I will agree. Whatever his thinking is or his decision. But I think it will be good for him. Yeah.
But overall, though, do you believe that Jose Aldo will deal with the hype of Conor McGregor and he will leave Las Vegas still the featherweight world champion, the unified featherweight world champion?
Yeah, you're asking me something weird, man. What do you think?
Of course, yeah.
Of course, man. Jose Aldo is pound for pound fighter in this weight class, and he will succeed this time also. And it would be a fairy tale story, of course, but I'll go for it. I'll put my money on it.